everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a very long time since I last recorded a video, but then I thought better late than never, and so here I am. In this video, I'm going to talk about my experience with the BITSOM interview, which, mind you, was nothing like what most people had told me about. It was not a very easy breezy conversation. It was rather grilling and challenging in a lot of ways, I must say. So all right, so I would categorize the type of questions into three parts. One was normal hygiene questions, why BITSOM, why MBA, things like that. The second type of questions were general knowledge or general awareness related. And for a lack of a better word, I would just have to say that the third type of question was trying to test my patience questions, because they were not at all related to my essay or to whatever a normal person would think would be asked in an interview. They were just questions, cross questions that were posed to me based on whatever I was saying. And sometimes they did not really have any meaning, but they were just trying to see how much they can push me, if they can get me into a state of panic, if I get fidgety with the questions. So that's how I would categorize them. In terms of what I could have prepped for, or what based on my experience you can also prep for, are just some basic questions of why BITSOM, why MBA, why you. These three questions are very important, and be ready to get cross questioned also. If you are making any random answer ki I am in a place where I have reached a plateau, what kind of plateau have you reached? Have you learned everything that was there to learn, or what is it that really makes you say that you've reached a plateau? So just a general tip, avoid using these kind of words unnecessarily. Not that they're wrong, it's just that they can invite a lot of cross questioning. So yeah, just be prepared with these kind of basic questions. In terms of my general awareness or GK, it was not like they quizzed me as to what was the last initiative that was taken by the Indian government. It was all the general knowledge was related to wherever I was living or to whatever I was saying. So let's say I said that I lived in a particular part of Bangalore, and then the interviewer probed me a little bit more, and then asked me where exactly I was living. And the society, when I mentioned the name of my society, he said something like, oh, so your society has this particular problem going on, and of course it's an ethical problem. If it were you, how would you solve it? And then when I said my answer, he cross-questioned me on that, which is pretty normal, and things went from there. So it's not that general awareness was also related to normal whatever is happening in the economy. It was related to what I was saying. And then the third category of questions were, as I mentioned, just trying to test me. So they were very unrelated. Like, even if I had list down those questions to you, it is not going to make sense. But the reason why I wanted to make this video is to tell people, or to just inform people, that in BITSOM you can get asked any kinds of questions. When you will generally speak to people, everybody will tell you positively that their experience was very well and it was very easy, breezy. But then there are also cases where it might not be like that. It might not just be conversation about you, right? The interviewer could take on a different style of interviewing you and just want to see if, let's say I wrote in my SOP that I am a resilient person. So my understanding is that through this interview, that's what the interviewers were really trying to see. Is she really a resilient person? She claims to be a resilient person, so let's test her resilience out. So that could have been their outlook, right? Every interviewer has a different approach of interviewing you and getting to the same answer that he or she wants. And so I know that for a lot of people, my experience might not be the most relatable, as it was not very, very, very specific to my SOP. But as I mentioned, it was trying to test something that I had mentioned in my SOP, right? So yes, I just wanted to tell you that if you are faced with a situation like this, where you understand where you understand that this interview has another purpose, right? Where you're trying to figure out why this interviewer is asking me these kinds of questions. I think my biggest tip to anybody would be to just remain calm, to just understand that the interviewer is trying to get at something. He's not looking for a right answer or a wrong answer, he's looking for a confident answer. Or he's probably trying to test something that you don't know as yet. Maybe something about you has caught his attention and he really wants to see what you are like actually. So if you are faced with a question, with an interview like this, and you're faced with certain questions that just try to bog you down, um, just don't think that you have done anything wrong, or don't panic, don't try to make sense of it, just go with it. um, Give answers to whatever questions that they're asking and just remain calm. Sometimes we just don't know what's happening in the interviewer's mind, we can't read the other person's mind, okay? So just remain calm, just keep a smile on your face like it's not bothering you. If they're trying to test you, they're just trying to test whether or not this kind of uncomfortable situation is bothering you. So just remain calm, okay? So yes, this was my interview experience. I know it may not have been extremely relatable to you guys, but I still thought that it was an important experience to share with everybody. And stay tuned as I come with more videos. I will be interviewing other people as well who have interviewed for other colleges, and getting in more informational content for you guys as soon as possible. So see ya.